What's good, everybody? I wanted to do a quick reading for the full moon in Scorpio. So I'm doing this. I know the full moon just peaked a little while ago. Let me see. Which one do I want to start with? I think I'm going to start with this Jade Oracle Jade, and see what. I haven't used it in a while. See what comes out. So this is for the full moon in Scorpio collective reading. Let's see what wants to come out. What messages? The spirits, creator. Oh, wow, that was fast. Cacahuatl, which is cacao. Wow, that's pretty cool. That card has actually never came out before, so let me read this book and see what it has to say. That's pretty interesting. So, I mean, it's ceremonial, right? So obviously, maybe they're talking about a ceremony being involved, right? Caca. What? Let me see. This one's a Spanish one. This way is in English. Okay. The cards. Oh, the seed of the plant, Theobroma cacao, is the base for the beverage known as chocolatl. Wow. See, chocolate, chocolate, is a Nahuatl word. That's pretty interesting. Chocolatl. Revered across ancient Mexico, this drink is prepared in many different ways, but primarily with water and often with chilies. Chiles, yeah. A common preparation was to stand and pour the mixture into a pot on the floor, creating a frothy drink. Now chocolate is prepared with a beater, bringing the drink to its original frothy goodness. Cacao is considered sacred and used for ritual. It is related to the tree of life and to blood, ancestors, and the heart, and most specifically connected with women, sacred with women. Sacred water is mixed with the cacao and offered to the deities as a sacrifice, often in rituals for fecundity. At marriage ceremonies, sharing chocolate was a symbolic of the blending of two lineages. Because the cacao tree flourishes in the shadow of taller trees, it is associated with the underworld and the jaguar. When you choose cacao, this revered seed calls you to remember that everything in life is sacred, both the bitter and the sweet. Find the divine experience in every situation. Wow. And you see, being the full moon in Scorpio, which has to do with going in deep, right? The underworld. Scorpio is, death and rebirth, all those kind of things. So it makes sense that it is associated with the underworld and the jaguar. So that's amazing, right? So, all right. I like it. So now let me see the dark goddess. Cause I don't know. Do I? Yeah, I'll just use it. Let's see what comes out. Dark goddess. Sit for the collective from the oof. Okay. Beauty. Oh, interesting. And it's funny because her name almost looks like change, but it's Chinese, I guess. So it's Chang'e. Chang. Yeah, but that would be change in English, right? Interesting. Beauty. So let's see what the book has to say. I'll just read the meaning, so I don't have to keep reading all this long stuff. Chang'e. You guys could look up who that goddess is. But she's a Chinese goddess of the moon. Ah, okay, I gotta read it then, because obviously the full moon. That's funny that she came out. Chang'e is the Chinese goddess of the moon. Chang'e drank an elixir of immortality and flew into the sky, choosing the moon as her new home. During the Mid-Autumn Festival, an open-air altar is set up under the moon for Chang'e. Worshippers leave out fresh fruits and treats, and in return, she blesses her followers and grants secret wishes. Chang'e is usually depicted as a beautiful and graceful young woman wearing flowing robes and holding a white rabbit. And it's funny because, people say there's a rabbit on the moon, and when it's full, you can see the rabbit, right? Meaning, Change is calling on you to see your own beauty. Practice self love by speaking kindly about your body, face, and appearance. Wear clothing and style your hair in the ways that make you feel beautiful instead of focusing on what others might view as attractive. Now is the perfect time to pamper yourself. Focus your time and energy on what makes you feel good, and you will be as radiant as the glowing moon. Ah, wow, that's beautiful. So yeah, don't forget to look at the moon tonight when it comes out and be like the moon. All right, so now let's see what the tarot has to say for this full moon in Scorpio. So obviously, right, there's a lot of things, uh, big changes, big transformation that happens with the Scorpio full moon. It kind of never fails. So if anything's been happening, like the first card said, right, everything's a part of life, right? The cacao one, how you know, you you got to see the lessons in everything, right? So don't take it if anything crazy is happening, don't take it like, oh, woe is me, or why me, or this is that, this and that. It's just part of the cycles of life. Okay. So let's see. One message wants to come out. Oof. Okay. Uh-oh. Well, I just finished saying that. So the tower, but before the tower, this came out, right? And it's optimism. So interesting that this came out right before the tower. Maybe it's telling you this new start because obviously the tower came out right under it. So something's falling apart, right? And maybe it's just that. What better time than the Scorpio full moon? If you see, it's the crown chakra, right? So it's like a spiritual thing, right? Obviously, things are falling apart because they have to. Cambios repentino, like things, sudden change, crisis, even traumatic things. It even talks about accidents, right? Things that may just seem like crazy. And I've already seen all those things happening. I've seen accidents, I've seen traumas, all these things have happened without, like, recently, right? It even says death, which I literally just read about a guy being killed by a kangaroo. That's the craziest thing. You know what I mean? So, but then comes this, right? Something starting new, right? In the root chakra, which is, the base chakra, right? So obviously it's something starting, and it's reminding you to have that energy, right? Be enthusiastic about it. Um, yeah, because that's what it is, right? Something new is starting. So I don't know. Maybe, yeah. If I didn't say it's sensitive, I get that from a higher perspective, right? Just like here how it shows even the tower, right? The crown. So take whatever time you need, right? If something happens and obviously it's traumatic, take the time you need to heal, you know. Um, Definitely my sympathies if anyone goes through anything traumatic during this time. And hopefully once you heal from that, you can see that, you know, it's like I could safely say everyone goes through it at some point or another, right? And unfortunately or fortunately, depending how once you see it from the perspective, right, of the spirit world, then you understand that things happen how they're supposed to, right? So I'll just say that, and let's see, let's continue. I think anyone watching this would already understand more or less that, so hopefully you get it. All right. Okay, that was too many cards. Let me see any other message. I mean, I think even that, right, already, it's like the message is pretty clear, right? It's like change is happening one way or another. Uh, I think even I could have left it at everything it said. I forgot everything it said, but you could rewind it, obviously. The whole message with the cacao was pretty dead on for what? Oh, wow. Okay, let me make. I always forget to cover because she's naked on here, right? And the YouTube thing. But this is all like harmony, and it says equilibrio activo, which means like equilibrium activated, basically, right? So that means everything is in balance, right? And again, the crown chakra. So it's the star, right? The star. It's hope. unexpected help, getting see a fresh perspective and clarity, right? Claridad de visión, having a clear understanding of a vision. It talks about great love, giving and receiving, right? Mutual giving and receiving, good health. And it says this is a card of complete, like a completely spiritual card, right? So that's, see, that comes after the tower and everything, right? And that's pretty much what I was saying. From the spirit world's perspective, it's all part of the way it was supposed to be. And I think this just clarified it, right? So you know that I wasn't just making stuff up, right? So I thank you for the spirit world for yeah, confirming, right, what I was saying. So that's always good. Let's see. Maybe one other message and I'll so any other thing. I mean, that kind of tells the story already, right? This is the energy of the full moon, so hopefully you don't take it I mean, just, just know that everything happens like they say, right? Everything happens for you, not to you, right? That's what they say. And look at what came out. Justice. See? And the heart chakra, right? So maybe it'll align you with something that's more in line with what you really want, right? The heart, right? Something, right? It says, recibo lo que me merezco. You get what you deserve, right? Recibo lo que me merezco. I'm getting what I deserve, right? So whether that's good or, if you've been over here like doing stuff you weren't supposed to do, and it's like Libra energy too, right? So it's balance. So if you're getting something and you're like, why me, this and that, at some point in your life, it's just justice is playing out, right? So all this stuff, right? That tower might be a justice that was long overdue. And to you, you're not understanding why it's happening, but this is like universal justice, right? It just is what it is. The balance has to be, the scales have to be balanced. That's what's happening at this time, right? Justicia, armonía. This talks about harmony, though. So who knows? Maybe whoever this is connecting with is not really a bad thing, but you take it how it resonates, right? If it's regardless, it's gonna be just. However, this happens, right? And it talks about maintaining balance, right? So if you haven't been in balance and you don't want to see, but it even talks about divorce or marriages. So, like I said, right, it's pretty much what I was saying. Whatever is just is gonna be happening, whether it's divorces or whatever. And the Five of Cups came out too, which it's that, right? Someone with new cups, but they're looking at this like crying over spilled milk, right? So if you're in this energy, that's sometimes like when the tower hits, right? Like you're not appreciating what you already have. I don't know why it's associated with the throat chakra, right? Because that's about speaking about something. I don't know what it is exactly. And Scorpio, right? Scorpio. So I don't know. But I think maybe it's important to let go of things, right? That's what this full moon's about, 100%. So I guess it does make sense that this card came out. But as far as maybe there's things that you gotta, okay, it makes sense. So the throat chakra, you gotta speak up. Maybe there's things you were supposed to put an end to. You were supposed to bring closure to things, and if you haven't, then rather than crying over spilled milk, it's time to bring those things to a close, right? And if you have to speak up about something, then do it so that so that you could find that closure. And the last one, and see, after that, it looks like things move good, right? Nine of Pentacles. See, like she looks like she's enjoying life, right? Everything's good. See, it's a moment of balance, security. It says financial liberties, right? So someone that's everything's good, right? So I think all this comes after you learn to let go of whatever you had to let go of and all that good stuff, right? So that's Virgo and it's tied into the sacral chakra. So I think this is more like a future thing, right? Like a future energy. Unless you're already in this energy, then maybe you've been kind of crying over something about the past and it's reminding you to let it go, right? So I think that's it for that. I'll take one more card from I think I'm supposed to use this one. So, since the Scorpio full moon is like a death and rebirth thing, I'll use this Dia de los Muertos deck that I haven't used in a while. I usually use this one for, to see if there's any message from any loved one that wants to communicate with you, right? Any loved one that's passed on that wants to. Ooh, did I just move everything? Feel like I just hit that, right? So this is from any loved one that wants to communicate something with you, right? Okay. It's getting hot, so I gotta finish this because I'm starting to sweat over here. Okay. Any message for the collective from any ancestor, anyone that wants to say something? A loved one. Close it out on this full moon. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe they don't want. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say maybe someone. Wow, I don't think this one has it came out. Dulces. 42 dulces. Interesting. Maybe that number means something. 42. 42. I like it. Dulces. Okay, let's see what it says. Okay. 42 dulces. Be kind to yourself and pour it on thick. Okay, so they're reminding you to be kind to yourself. Can I come back and see you sometime? Long as you bring me some chocolate. Ah, wow. See, I love it when it's like a whole sandwich, right? It started with chocolate and it's ending with chocolate. That's so funny. Can I come back and see you sometime? Long as you bring me some chocolate, Grandma said and smiled. I'm partial to chocolate. Grandma, you're diabetic. I'm old, girl. Gonna die of something. Might as well be chocolate. I like that. Rachel Kane. That is so funny. Message, my beloved. Imagine you're in the kitchen with me as I bake you your favorite delicacies for you. Feel the awe-embracing warmth of the oven, the aroma of the sugar and cinnamon as it swirls together on the rising dough. You may have fallen under the notion that your despair demonstrates your love for me. However, please know that I know how much you love and miss me. You don't have to prolong your mourning one moment longer. You've pulled this card because it's time to stop starving yourself, especially from the love, comfort, and cradling you crave. It's time to get pampered. Gobble up the honey of life. Lick your gooey fingers as you remember our sweetest times together. Honor me by slathering on extra icing, luxuriating a little longer in each delightful encounter you find yourself in, and savoring the flavor of nurturing food and fortifying moments with loved ones. When you revel in your sweetest thoughts, especially those involving me, you tantalize my non physical palate and strengthen the feedback loop of the deliciousness of our love. So, I don't know, I felt emotions for some reason while I was reading that. So, maybe some of you used to, I guess, bake with your loved one, whoever this is for, whoever this is resonating for. And I felt like these emotions things. So I don't know. I guess there's a lot of love there. Mantra: melted by love, I live la dulce vida, the sweet life. So that's the mantra, right? Melted by love, I live la dulce vida, the sweet life. So yeah, I like it. This was good. It all wrapped up like into a nice little. It started with chocolate and then ended with chocolate, right? So that was pretty cool. So that was the full moon reading. Thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up, comment, all that good stuff. If it resonates, let me know. And that's it. Thank you. Peace.